Hello and welcome to another video, and today is a slightly different one because it's a herping video, and I know I don't get as many of these on the channel as the fish and stuff, but today luckily we've managed to get back out herping, which is something I've really been missing. I'm not going to give any site details, but I'm in North Wales and today we have a fair few targets on the board. We've got grass snakes and adders are our main targets. We should be able to get some common lizards, some slowworms, and potentially later we might go and see if we can find some of the sand lizards at one of the sand lizard populations. So, yeah, we've got beautiful weather. I think it's around 15-16 degrees right now. We're in the start of May, and I'm fairly confident. I've got my friend Cyrus with me, so anything that my rusty search image misses out on, he'll hopefully pick up. So let's get going, and I'll take you on with us. It wasn't long before we found the first slowworm. Now, it's hard to ask for a better example of the species than this gravid adult female, which we flipped under the first felt. This specimen was heavily gravid, and so as soon as she started moving, we were quick to pop the felt down so as not to stress her out before she dropped her litter. Slowworms are ovoviviparous, and during the breeding season of May and June, they'll give birth to the live young, such as the ones we found here under some more refugia. When I say refugia, I mean sheets of felt or tin which have been laid to absorb and trap heat, providing somewhere for reptiles to gain heat while also being protected from predators. Okay, got a nice slowworm under this one. Again, because it's really getting hot now, we're not going to mess this one about. That'll be the whole interaction, and now we'll drop him back down again. Nice. Okay, so I know I've said this before, and I know I stress in these videos as much as possible the importance of not handling and picking things up, but purely for this video's sake, because we flipped this grass snake under a piece of felt, we have quickly just picked it up just because we wouldn't be able to show it you otherwise. This gives us an opportunity to actually show you this snake, which is a really nice specimen of Natrix helvetica, which is the barred grass snake. It's also a good example to show you that, you know, they don't bite, they're not too... All they do is they'll give a good musk, which we've already taken the brunt of. They will exhibit a behaviour known as thanatosis, which is playing dead, which this one hasn't done, and realistically they tend not to do that if you're nice and gentle with them. All we're going to do now is we're going to take a few shots, because this is a particularly nice individual, and then we'll get them back on their way. This is a really nice one. You can note that the classic yellow bar behind the head, that collar they've got, that really notes them apart from any other UK snake really. And yeah, we're really happy to get that one. Both myself and Cyrus have yet to get one this year, so this was the main target for today, and we've been lucky enough to achieve that. Grass snakes are the largest snakes in Britain and are only oviparous or egg-laying native snake. In early summer, in a month or two, these snakes will seek out rotten vegetation or compost heaps to lay their clutch of up to 40 eggs in. Grass snakes are a semi-aquatic snake, and the majority of their diet consists of amphibians and fish, meaning these snakes exhibit an affinity to wetland habitats, although they can still be found throughout grassland, heathland and woodland habitat as well. Okay, so now we're going to make sure we put that grass snake back under the exact same felt that we found it, having only had it out for a minimum amount of time. And as you can see, it's not bolted out, it's just going to hopefully go back to doing exactly what it was doing before we had disturbed it. No. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a slowworm. I think that one's a male, but I'm no expert. He looks like he's been in the wars slightly more than the last individual we found. But going to go ahead and leave that one be. Absolutely no need to disturb that. We just noticed that something was a bit off with that slowworm, and as you can see, this one's died. Those injuries, those holes in it, I'm no expert. I suspect that was by ants and stuff after death. So I've no idea what killed this. You never know if a sheep or something's trod on the felt. It looks like perhaps there's an injury just there. Hard to tell, but maybe it's just an old individual. You never know. But always a shame. Never good to see. But just a point of interest, I guess, that I thought I'd film. Another nice pair of slowworms there. Again, because these are heated up, they're quick to move off. So we're going to pop this cover straight back down on these guys and leave them be. So here we've got the first common lizard I managed to film. This is Zootoca vivipara, and he's just sitting on this felt. I'm quite zoomed in because I know I begin to sound like a broken record, but we are always conscious of keeping that disturbance to a minimum. So although that one isn't actually under the refugia, he is basking. So we're going to hopefully leave that one to it without disturbing him. Common lizards are a widespread reptile in the British Isles and can be found in Wales, Scotland, England and Ireland. We did find a few more on this day, but with the temperature being up towards 20 degrees, they were becoming increasingly hard to film. Okay, so just doing a little mid-herping bits of the camera. So far we're doing pretty well. We got the grasssnake, which we're both really stoked about, and we have seen an adder. We just didn't quite manage to film it, but I will have another crack at that before we leave. Slowworms, unsurprisingly, have been fairly prevalent. We've done pretty well on them, and I did just manage to film the first Zootoca because we have been missing those, and to be honest we haven't seen a lot. It's heating up a lot now. We're soon going to be trying for the sand lizards, I think, because otherwise it will just get too hot and they'll have done all the basking they need to do. But we're pretty confident with how the day's going. To be honest, we really just wanted the Natrix, so as soon as we got that we were pretty buzzed. But yeah, it's going pretty well so far. Oh no way, a buzzard has just flown right over our heads. I should have pointed the camera at that, but I never would have got it. But yeah, this is just really good for our morale, so I hope you enjoy watching, and hopefully there's still a few things left to come. When you're herping, you often see lots of other native wildlife. I've tried to pop a few IDs into some of the things we saw, but I'm no expert, so any invert people feel free to correct me. Alright, so I've just been a bit lax over the last hour on the filming front. We didn't get any sand lizards. We've been trying to get the lacertas for a while. We haven't managed to get any, so I didn't really bother filming anything, talking about them, because we'll have to leave that for another video where we actually do find some. But we did manage to go back and we got some footage of the adders. We were lucky it had come back sort of a little bit cloudy, and I think just that lack of blazing sun helped us out a little, because it is just getting really hot now. When it gets over 20 degrees this time of year, it can get a struggle. It's weird. You think, you know, for reptiles and things you want it hot, but you forget there's another end of that thermoregulatory scale. So I'll pop the adder footage in here and I hope you enjoy those. Adders are the UK's only viper and therefore our only venomous snake. Male adders emerge in February-March time, basking in order to mature their sperm, ready for when the females emerge roughly a month later. Disturbance of male adders during this key period of spermatogenesis is detrimental to the breeding success of the affected snakes, and can therefore harm the gene pool of some already isolated adder populations. It may seem repetitive stressing the importance of a hands-off approach to UK herping, but while making videos of this nature on a platform such as YouTube, I feel it's important to share this message so that we can all enjoy our native herpetofauna in a safe and conservation-minded way. The adders in these clips are males, which are yet to shed their skin, and so can look quite brown and therefore sometimes get mistaken for females. In this clip, an adder has worked its way right up to us, and so we found ourselves much closer to the snake than I would ever recommend anyone getting. All you can do in this situation is stay very still and let the snake move on by. This clip also shows that adders have no intention of chasing or biting people and will simply continue on their way even when human and snake find themselves in accidental but close proximity to each other. Adders don't grow as big as grass snakes, and their diet is more varied, consisting of mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and I've even seen footage of them raiding the nests of ground-dwelling birds, which is considered rare but is something I suspect happens fairly regularly during nesting season. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the footage of the adders. I really enjoyed seeing them. That was the thing we missed on the last video, the last herping video, was the adders. We always seem to miss something. Couldn't find the sand lizards this time, but we did manage to get the adders. I apologise that probably all that adder stuff would be in voiceover by the time you guys watch this, because I didn't really say anything. I slacked a bit on the filming because we were just desperately trying to find something in the heat. But we had a really good day. We got 4 out of the 5 species possible. which, you know, you've got to take that. You get a bit used to finding everything around here because it can spoil you, but for Britain, 4 species of reptiles a day is not bad at all. I really hope you enjoyed watching the video. Any questions at all about anything we've done? I'm really keen to help people out and hopefully help some enthusiastic people on their reptiles. So yeah, any questions at all, comments or whatever you want, pop them down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for watching the video and I'll see you next time.